Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal. And in this episode, we are visiting the Nashville Predators once again.
I feel like we were just there, weren't we?
Yeah, with last time we were there, we were talking about their first win.
Yeah.
And
they won 3 games in a row, something like that.
And then immediately fell off the wagon again.
Yeah. This team, man, not just you and I, but everyone had such high expectations of them, and they have just not lived up to anything at all.
I mean, they won the July 1st Stanley Cup.
Their fantasy on paper looks pretty good, yeah. And that's kind of what we're here today to talk about. We're just speculating here, but like, what the hell is going on with this team?
Yeah, we are recording this episode on Thursday, November 7th, and this is off the heels of General Manager Barry Trotz's comments.
Yeah.
So he went on Nashville radio, 102.5 The Game in Nashville. And when they were talking about the team, he said, quote, "If we don't get it going, then I'm going to start our rebuild plan."
Which is a wild thing to say after you just acquired Brady Shea, Jonathan Marchessault, and Steven Stamkos, along with, extending Saros and, having your amazing core.
Offseason getting Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah. Yeah. You've made a lot of moves a lot of buying moves in the past couple seasons. So that's I'm calling his bluff a little bit. I don't think he's serious about this. Do you?
I know. It's 14 games.
Yeah.
We're 14 games into the season.
Just, you signed 2 long contracts to these. These are guys that are like signed for like 4-ish years, if not. I mean, some of them might be longer. I don't know. But 4 years. You're gonna pull the panic button. 14 games into a season of the first year. Hell no. Hell no.
I mean, I can see why some fans would have this kind of reaction. They are 4-9-1,
and they did just lose 6-2 to Florida tonight. Yeah. Granted, it's Florida, obviously.
Yeah, the reigning Cup champ.
But this is a potential Cup final matchup, no? Or it's supposed to be.
Well, I mean, Nashville's in 8th in the division right now.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in the offseason.
But if you're Nashville, you have aspirations of beating this team, right?
Yeah. You're going to have to go through this team at some point, assuming Nashville was in the East. But if they want to beat the Cup, I mean, I could definitely see the Panthers going back to the Cup final. So if you're going to put a 2-piece on a team that you're supposed to, in theory, be beating, I don't know, man. You got a long way to go. So
yeah, let me ask you this: do you think Nashville, with all these acquisitions, has gone away from their defensive identity? They were always a defense-first team. Are they still?
Let's say that I don't think Saros is as good as he can be, or as we've seen him to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily that they're like not playing defense, but I think it's a lot of just offense not showing up, right? It's, I mean, you've signed these big name players, Jonathan Marchessault and Steven Stamkos to actually produce, to actually like get that offense going. And again, that is on top of Ryan O'Reilly and whoever else. So it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily all on defense, but there's definitely been a couple of soft goals where they were just kind of puck watching, right?
Yeah.
And that's also an issue. Like, sure, like Tampa maybe saw like a sort of regression that made them hesitant to sign Stamkos to like this big deal. But it's just you can't be puck watching and expect to win a Stanley Cup. You just can't.
And I mean, this is a roster made with Cup champs on it, right?
Yeah.
Stamkos, Ryan O'Reilly, Marchessault. We talked about this last time we talked about Nashville. A lot of Cup winning experience here, but they're playing like they're just, at freshman camp still.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you won the offseason. You didn't win a Cup. You didn't even win a playoff. You didn't even make the playoffs, right?
Last year?
Well, this past offseason, yeah. Like, you won the offseason, sure, but like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just like think, oh, we're the Nashville freaking Predators. I was like, no, that just doesn't work anymore. Like, you prove it, man. Like, nobody's scared of your team right now, and that's a big issue too. People are waltzing into Nashville, or Nashville's coming into your building and be like,
even if you're losing, you got to make it hard on the opponent.
Yeah,
right now they're not making it hard.
That's the more concerning part. It's just these games are not even close. It's not that they're like for Edmonton. There was at the beginning of the season there was a very weird goaltender interference call on Corey Perry, and ended up like not costing them the game, but it was a significant turning point. And now McDavid's injured and whatever. Or he's back now, but like he was injured. So it's just, there's like one-offs there. It's just like, okay, yeah, I don't want to call them excuses, but you can kind of see the struggle there. This is just, you're just bad.
Yeah.
This is just bad, right? So,
and it's bad when you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You look at the roster on paper, I'd put it on paper toe-to-toe with any team in the NHL.
Right. Do you remember, like, I think it was you who told me, actually, like, the Sabres have just been stacked year after year after year. Just amazing, like, a lot of cup winners or future cup winners on their rosters, but they were just shit every single year. It almost feels like that's what's happening in Nashville.
I mean, in Sabres, we knew, like, the management wasn't good, the coaching wasn't good, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
In Nashville, management and coaching is fun. You've got Barry Trotz as the GM, and you've got Andrew Burnett as the coach.
Mm-hmm. And I think something that they got to watch out for is maybe a lack of accountability. Because, like, we've all seen the whole, when a team isn't doing well, it brings the vibes in the locker room down in terms of, like, frustration start boiling over, right? Like, people, like, players start turning on each other, assuming, like, it's a team that should be winning, right?
Yeah.
If it's a rebuilding team, obviously everyone knows what it is.
But like, I think of the Flames of a few years ago.
Yeah, the Flames. St. Louis was literally fighting each other in practice, and then they went on to win a cup. But again, it took a kind of a U2 run to even make it to the playoffs at that point, right? So you can't just rely on, again, a U2 concert trip getting canceled every single year, or someone just calling you, or your GM calling you out on a podcast or whatever. So
they should buy them all tickets to the Eras tour.
God.
And then take it away.
With what salary cap space? There's nothing left, man.
Are you
paying that? Yeah.
Can't afford Eras tours tickets.
Yeah, hell no, dude. Hell no. For 23 people? No way. Yeah. Not a chance.
But, I mean, either way, we're talking about the players you have to get it done, right?
Yeah.
Rebuild is not on the table.
Right. It's just, you spent too much. You've gone in too deep to, like, you can try to rebuild, sure, but I feel like you're going to fuck up your franchise for, like, a decade, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you've committed too deep into this, too. You also just trade away Askarov, so...
yeah, you traded away your prospects to get these players.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't rebuild now.
Yeah, it's just, you've already done the damage. I'll go as far as to say Nashville doesn't have a choice here. They have to figure it out. I was like, what are you going to do? Ship some players out? Like, you have everything you need. Friggin' figure it out, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here to see what draft picks do they have upcoming. I don't remember, have they traded their draft picks?
Their prospect pool is probably not that deep, I don't think.
I mean, Askarov was their biggest prospect, but they traded.
Yeah, but that's in the past now.
They do have most of their draft picks. I just pulled up their Puckpedia.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 first-rounders this coming draft.
Okay, but...
So I guess if you really wanted to rebuild...
I mean...
But you'd be ground-up rebuilding.
Yeah, it's not... Because even the teardown of San Jose, for example, they were mostly getting quantity over quality, right?
Yeah.
They shipped out Timo Meier for what we thought at the time was nothing. Fabian Zetterlund has kind of panned out nicely for San Jose, but
the plan was trade them for warm bodies just to field a roster.
Yeah.
And wait for draft picks.
Right.
Right. But they've got the draft picks.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
I guess it gives some teeth to Barry Trotz's argument.
Sure.
If they had no draft picks and no prospects, and every player on the team is like, yeah, fuck off, Barry.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, sure. But, like, what? I don't know. I think there's also, like, a pride ego thing where it's just like, hey, we're getting called out by our GM. Like, I would hope that lights some sort of fire under their ass, right?
Well, this happened before the Florida game, so...
Yeah. I don't know how long it takes to figure these things out, but it's also Florida. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, sure, they might have some teeth, or he might have some teeth with that argument, but just... Yeah. I don't know. You're for a team we've, at least personally as a Sharks fan, it's watching a team that has committed to winning and just completely fucked that up and have to be forced to rebuild. It's not a pretty process by any means. You can come join us in the basement if that does happen, though. And somehow we'll still be ahead of you guys. So
yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. But it looks like Nashville is kind of locked in here.
Yeah. So for the fans' sake, hope they figure this out. Hope for the players' sake they figure this out. And if you have some sort of theory, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on the Nashville Predators in the comments below. If you like this episode, drop a like on it. Hit subscribe if you want more glass seats. We got multiple episodes out every week. See you in the next one.
Peace.